Pompeii, a vibrant Roman city nestled by the Bay of Naples, was once a bustling hub of life, art, and commerce. Its citizens lived opulent lives, unaware that a sleeping giant, Mount Vesuvius, loomed silently over their everyday existence. For centuries, the mountain had been quiet, its slopes covered in vineyards, its true nature forgotten, blending into the beautiful Italian landscape. But beneath that serene facade, immense pressure was building, a cataclysmic force ready to unleash unimaginable destruction upon the unsuspecting world. This is the story of that fateful day, when an entire city, its people, and their stories were suddenly frozen in time in just 24 hours. August 24th, 79, AD began like any other day in Pompeii. Sunlight streamed into homes, merchants prepared their stalls, and children played in the streets. The morning was calm, warm, and beautiful, a typical summer day in the prosperous Roman Empire, full of the usual city sounds. Perhaps there were faint tremors, small earthquakes that locals had grown used to, dismissing them as the mountain clearing its throat. No one could have predicted the horror that was about to unfold, changing their lives and the very landscape forever. Around 1 p.m., the first sign appeared. A massive column of ash and pumice erupted from Vesuvius, shooting high into the sky like a giant pine tree. It rose over 30 kilometers, roughly the height of 3 Mount Everests stacked together, visible for hundreds of miles, a terrifying sight. Initially, the citizens were bewildered, some even fascinated by the spectacle, thinking it was just a strange cloud or a minor tremor. But soon, tiny light fragments of pumice, like hailstones, began to fall, dusting the streets and roofs, quickly accumulating everywhere. People scrambled for cover, perhaps thinking it was a heavy, unusual shower, but the true scale of the unfolding disaster was slowly becoming clear. As the afternoon wore on, the sky above Pompeii turned from blue to a dark, menacing gray, almost like midnight in the middle of the day. The pumice fell relentlessly, burying homes, blocking streets, making escape increasingly difficult, as if the city was being suffocated. Many tried to flee, clutching their most precious belongings, but visibility was poor, and the air grew thick, making every breath a struggle. Roofs began to groan and collapse under the sheer weight of the falling debris, crushing those who sought shelter inside their once safe homes. Some managed to escape the city limits, running for their lives. But countless others, perhaps too slow or too hopeful, remained behind. The air became thick with sulfur and ash, a choking blanket that stung the eyes and burned the lungs, making even breathing feel like a battle. Imagine trying to run through heavy snow, but the snow is hot, gritty ash, and it's falling faster than you can move, blocking your way. By early evening, around 6 p.m., the situation was dire. The city was covered in several feet of ash and pumice, like a blanket of death. The constant rain of debris continued, trapping people in their homes, forcing them to make impossible choices, stay and risk burial, or go out and risk suffocation. Darkness had completely enveloped the city, lit only by the distant, eerie glows from Vesuvius, a hellish beacon in the suffocating black. Families huddled together, praying for salvation, as the mountain roared with an unimaginable power, its fury shaking the very ground beneath their feet. Then, In the early hours of the next morning, around 1:00 a.m., the deadliest phase began. Pyroclastic flows, superheated currents of gas and ash. These flows, moving at speeds of over 100 miles per hour, like a speeding train, swept down the mountainside, incinerating everything in their path instantly. The temperature inside these flows reached hundreds of degrees Celsius, turning flesh into stone, metal into liquid, leaving no chance for survival. One moment, a person was breathing, hoping, and the next, they were gone. Their bodies preserved in the ash, a chilling final pose for eternity. We see them still, in haunting plaster casts, a mother embracing her child, shielding them from the inevitable, their final act of love frozen forever. A young couple, perhaps lovers or siblings, lay huddled together, their hands clasped tightly, finding comfort in their last moments, facing death as one. A dog curled up, trying to escape the choking ash, its fear palpable even after thousands of years, a silent testament to nature's brute force. These are not just statues. They are echoes of human tragedy, preserved grief, fear, and love, telling stories across 2 millennia. The flows moved quickly, relentlessly, engulfing Pompeii, and then Herculaneum, burying both cities under layers of volcanic material. When the sun finally rose on August 25th, Pompeii was gone, vanished beneath a thick shroud of ash and rock, silent and forgotten. For nearly 1,700 years, Pompeii lay buried, a lost city, a time capsule of an ancient Roman world preserved exactly as it was. Its rediscovery in the 18th century brought back to life the incredible detail of Roman daily life, but also the horror of that single day. The plaster casts, created by filling voids left by decomposed bodies, reveal the exact final moments of the victims, a truly unique record. They show us the faces of despair, the postures of fear, and the last tender gestures of humanity caught in the grip of utter terror. Pompeii stands as a powerful reminder of nature's unpredictable might, a sudden force that can wipe out civilizations in a blink of an eye. It teaches us about the fragility of life and the enduring power of human connection, even in the face of absolute annihilation. The city is a silent museum, a monument to the thousands who perished, their lives extinguished, yet their stories forever etched in stone. It invites us to reflect on our own existence, to appreciate each moment, and to remember the communities that lived and loved before us. And even today, Vesuvius stands sentinel, a beautiful but terrifying reminder of the day Pompeii was buried, a city frozen in time.